All right. Welcome to Punch, Kick, Stretch. I hope everybody's ready. We're going to start with a little bit of basic warm up, and then we'll get into our combinations. We're going to do a lot of what we've done before, but of course, always adding a different little twist, which we'll get to later. So first, just to warm up, separate your feet a little bit wider than shoulder width, turning the feet out. Take a big breath in, reaching the arms up. And then on your exhalation, bring the arms down and bend the knees, little squat. Inhale up, exhale down. Make sure the knees are traveling out over the toes. A couple more times. Go down a little bit lower. If you're ready, maybe separating the feet a little bit further apart. A couple more times, just inhaling up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Good. Now we're going to stay up. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Big inhale. And then exhale, just let one arm come down. The other arm reaches up even more and a little bit of a side stretch. And take a couple breaths there. Then inhale, both arms up and other arm down. Exhale. And top arm reaches up and over. Side stretch. Nice, long, couple breaths. Now, inhale, both arms up again. Go back to that first side. We're going to stay here. And then also turn that palm up. Your top arm palm turns up and start to reach behind a little bit and turn your chest a little bit to that side. And then bend. Bring both arms up and go to the other side. So the top arm palm turns up and reach back. Stretching the whole underside of your arm, armpit, maybe even feeling into the pecs, opening up there. Good. So we're going to work more stretching that area after we do all our punches because it's going to get worked a lot here and that can start to feel a little bit tight. So let's start with our fighting stance, our basic fighting stance. As always, you choose which foot you want to have in front. To start with, we will always switch and do the other side. So when you look down at your feet, the front foot is pointing straight ahead. The back foot is angled out to this side, maybe 45, maybe a little bit even more than 45 degrees. Hands are up. Keep your hands in fists most of the time. Sometimes you might see me open a hand when I'm punching with the other hand and I'm protecting my face. That's just a habit I have. You don't have to open your hand. You could just keep it closed. Up to you. Otherwise, hands are up in a protective position when you're not punching, and the elbows are down, okay? If the elbows start to go out to the side a little bit, it leaves you open to possibly getting hit in the ribs, so we don't want that. Slight tuck of the chin, a slight engagement as if you're about to do a crunch. You're not really starting to round or anything, but just think if you were just about to, you would tighten the front abs. You want to have that kind of engagement throughout and a slight bend in both knees. All right, so let's start with just bending those knees up and down a little bit. Okay, so just like before, when you bend your knees, check that the knees are tracking out over your feet. Okay, whatever angle the foot is at, that's where the knees go when you bend them. Okay, so your back knee is going to go out to the side a little bit more. Front knee just goes straight forward. Okay, and then switch and do the same thing on the other side, checking the feet again, and just bending the knees up and down. So I'm going to talk mostly about front and back instead of right and left because you might be on a different side than me, so we won't have to worry about right and left. Just think front leg, front hand, back leg, back hand. All right, so now we're just going to start lifting the knees up, alternating front and back. And again, the front knee is going to go forward. When you lift it, the back knee is going to go a little bit out to the side. So just try that a few times. Starting to warm up the legs a little bit, and then switch the other side, and a few times same way, just lifting the knees up. This is another way to adjust how much your heart rate goes up. Lifting the knees higher will make the heart rate go up higher. So you can always adjust to what you feel you need today, what's good for you, what's safe for you. So pick which side you want to start on, and we're going to start with our basic jab, cross. So as always, the front hand is going to do your jab to the face. Okay, you're going to turn your body to face to the side. Front heel comes up. The feet are basically pointing off to the side. You're facing off to this side. And then cross, reverse all that, face forward, back heel comes up. All right, so just a few times really slowly, just going through the motions, jab, cross. If you can see yourself in the screen, it helps to see where that punch is going. Is it aiming directly in front of you? Imagine there's someone in front of you your size, you're hitting them in the face, and then maybe about midsection, solar plexus area. All right, so what we're going to do is 10 times on this side, jab, cross, and then switch and do 10 times on the other side. Okay, so same way, both sides. And try, once you have this motion going, instead of just doing 1, 2, make the cross follow quickly. So it's more like 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, when you're ready to make that modification. All right, otherwise you're going to stay light on your feet. Maybe even a slight movement, sort of like this, as you get ready. So let's start. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, switch sides. So now the other hand is in front. You've switched your side, so the other hand is going to do the jab. What was your back hand is now your front hand, and the other hand, your back hand, will do the cross. So ready? 1, jab, cross. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. All right. Switch back to your first side. Now we're just going to do jab, jab, cross. All right. So 2 quick jabs. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. And switch sides. Same way, 2 quick jabs and then cross with the backhand. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, very good. And come back to your first side again. Now we're going to add hook punch. Okay, so just 1 jab, cross, and then your front hand, the same hand that did the jab, you're going to bring it around into a hook punch. So your hook punch is coming around from the side. So it might be striking your opponent in sort of the side here, depending on where they're angled or facing, it might be striking them in the front of the body. Okay, so don't worry about it. You're just coming around to the side for your hook punch. All right, so 3 hand techniques on each count. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good, and switch sides. 1 second, I'm just going to close this door. All right, so jab, cross, hook. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and switch back to the first side. Now we're going to add one more hand technique, uppercut. So jab, cross, hook, backhand is going to come up to execute uppercut, okay? So if your uppercut, your palm stays facing up and is driving up at a slight angle, maybe hitting someone up under their ribs, something like that. So let's try 10. So it's 4 hand techniques on each count. Ready? 1, jab, cross, hook, uppercut. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Did I just skip a bunch of numbers? Let's do 8 again. My mind wanders for a second, I lose count. 9, 10. All right, and switch sides. I think I might have skipped from 5 to 8 for some reason. All right, we'll make it up. We'll even it out. Okay, so 4 hand techniques on this side. Ready? Let's just do one slowly to get it. Jab, cross, hook, uppercut, right? Okay, uppercut, make sure your back heel comes up. You're facing forward again, and it should feel almost like a little bit of tucking the pelvis and moving your hips up into that uppercut for added power. Ready? 1, jab, cross, hook, uppercut. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, very good. All right, so now we're going to add front kick at the beginning. Okay, so front kick, just to review, front straight kick. Well, let's not call it straight kick. Let's call it front snap kick, because you are going to bend your knee when you pick the leg up. All right, so I'll do it from the side, might help you see a little bit better. Weight shifts back to the back foot, front knee up, snap the foot out, bring it back, and put it back down. So if you're really trying to kick somebody, you would want to pull the toes back, right? So that when your foot goes forward, the ball of your foot would be exposed to go into your target. That's just a little added icing on the cake if you want to work on that. Not necessary, but now we're going to do 5 techniques. So first, kick, then the same, jab, cross, hook, uppercut. All right, so on your first side, ready? 1, kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and switch sides. Same way on this side. Let's just do it slowly once. Other legs in front. That leg is going to do your front kick. So 1, jab, cross, hook, uppercut. All right, let's try it a little bit faster. If you find it's too much, you're starting to get really, really out of breath. When you do the kick, you could just lift the knee. You know, just lift the foot up off the floor until you get used to it. Then you can try kicking. You can keep the kick low, just kind of snap the foot out low here, and then gradually build up to a higher kick. The higher you lift your legs, the more your heart rate will go up. So you can always adjust. All right, so ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. All right. So now is when we're going to add something a little bit different. Last week, we worked on turning to one side, doing a combination, and then turning forward again. We're going to turn a different way, though. So don't worry, it's not too complicated. I think it's a little bit easier than the way we did last week, because you don't have to worry about switching the feet each time. It does have an added challenge, though, because at one point, you'll be facing away from the camera. Okay, so just to explain, we're going to start facing forward, do our combination. Turn in the direction of your front leg. Second count, do your combination. Turn in the direction of your front leg again. So you're going to face away from the camera. Count 3, do your combination. Turn again. Count 4, do your combination. And finally, count 5, it's forward again. So we're going to do this one twice. So we come out with 5. So we'll do 5, turning in a circle. After we come back, after count 5 here, then we'll switch sides and do 5 going around this way. So we don't get dizzy. You're not going to get dizzy, but we're just going to alternate 5, 5, 5, 5. So we'll end up doing 10 on both sides. So if that didn't make any sense, just follow me. I'm going to talk you through it. When you're facing away from the camera, try not to turn around to see the screen. We're doing the exact same combination each count. So when you're facing away from the camera, I'm going to talk you through it. Try to just listen instead of turning, because turning your head around will throw you off with your techniques and everything. Okay, so pick which side you want to start on. Doesn't have to be your first side. You can start whichever side. And it's going to be the same combination that we just did again. Okay, so we're going to start. Facing forward is our first count. 1, front kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut. 2, you're going to turn in the direction of your front leg. All right, and then go ahead and do your technique as soon as you are oriented 90 degrees to the side of your front leg, whatever side that is. Go ahead, kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut. Find your fighting stance again, and then when I say 3, that's when you turn again. You're facing directly behind. Do your technique. Front kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut. Set your fighting stance. Count number 4, turn again. Do your combo. Kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut. Fighting stance. 5. Turning, you should be facing forward again, and do your combo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fighting stance. Okay, now you're going to switch your stance. So the other leg is in front, so we're going to turn just going the other direction. Okay, same combo. Ready? 1, front kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut. Set, and 2, turn, execute combo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set your fighting stance. Count number 3, turn, you're facing away, execute combo, kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut. Set your fighting stance. 4, turn again, kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut. Set, and finally 5, turn, facing forward again, and go. All right, so we did 5 one way, 5 the other way. Switch your feet. We're going to do 5 again, the first direction. One last thing to think about. So you're going to do your combo here. Then when I say 2, you want to turn in the direction of your front leg, right? Look look over the shoulder, your front shoulder, then turn, okay? So if you were really, obviously, in a fighting situation, self-defense situation, always want to turn and look, what is your opponent over here doing before you decide to turn, or what, combo you're going to use or whatever, okay? So let's try it again, same way. Ready? 1, kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut, set. 2, look, turn, execute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, set. 3, look, turn, execute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, set. Turn. 4, look, turn, execute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, set. 5, look, turn, execute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, set. Switch sides. Last time with this combination, just look before you turn each time. All right, number 1, kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I forgot to count 1 for the kick. It is 5 techniques, including the kick. All right, you're here. 2, look, turn, execute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set. 3, look, turn, execute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set. 4, look, turn, and go. Set. 5, look, turn, and go. Done. All right, so now we're going to add another kick, all right, at the end of this combination. All right, let me just grab some water so I can keep talking. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Same combination, front kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut. Set your fighting stance. Look the direction of your front leg. Look to that side. Put your weight on your back leg. Lift up your front leg and execute roundhouse to the side that you're going to turn to. So whatever leg is in front, that determines which side you're going to turn to. That's the leg that's going to do your roundhouse kick. So just to review roundhouse kick, your standing leg is turned out. All right, so my standing leg, the toes are pointing back away from the target. Maybe not 90 degrees away from the target, somewhat, maybe slightly less than 90 degrees, but definitely back away from my target, which is over there. Okay, so roundhouse kick, again, if you're not used to it or you don't have the balance, something's, you're not quite sure, just lift the leg like this. All right, that's just getting you ready to do roundhouse kick. Lift the foot off the floor, bend the knee, that's fine. Work on that a little bit. Then the more you lean back on this back leg, this leg can go a little bit higher, and you could do a low roundhouse. You could be trying to kick someone in the side of the leg here, which can really hurt, actually. So that could be a very valid way to kick somebody, right? Low kick, all right? And then if you want to add height, you can work on adding going a little bit higher, but don't stress out about how high the kick goes, all right? So same exact combination with a roundhouse at the end, and the roundhouse goes in the direction you're turning. So that's another reason it's important to look that way before you do anything. Okay, so let's try it. Whichever leg is forward, doesn't matter, we're gonna do both. So again, 1, front kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut, come back to your fighting stance. 2, well, we're not doing 2 yet. This is still part of number 1. Look, lean on this back leg, roundhouse kick, put the foot down and turn 90 degrees, to that side. We're already here. So for 2, we start here looking this way, 2, kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut, fighting stance. Last technique of number 2, look behind, roundhouse kick, turn in that direction. 3, front kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut, set your fighting stance, look in the direction of your front leg, pick it up, roundhouse kick to that side, and turn again. 4, front kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut, look forward towards the screen again, roundhouse, and come back. Last one, 5, facing forward again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can do the roundhouse to the side to finish, and come back and switch sides. So now we're going to do 5 going around the other way. All right, yeah, we still have time. So just to review, same combination. Now at the end, you're going to add a roundhouse kick. It's going to go to the other side. Weight's going to go on your standing leg, your back leg. Make sure the toes are turned out away from where you're kicking, and you do your roundhouse kick. If you start to do the roundhouse kick and you see your foot is not turned out, don't try to do the kick anyway. Okay, please. I'd rather you don't do the roundhouse at all than try to do it without turning this foot out, because it will actually injure you. It'll mess up your knees, maybe your ankles, maybe your hips, everything. So just rather you don't do it. If you're in doubt, you can just have both feet down, consciously turn the foot out, and then go. And then your kick actually can go higher also if the foot's really turned out. So let's try it. Ready? 5 times. Ready? 1, kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut, look in the direction of your front leg, check the back foot as it turned out, and roundhouse. Turn 90 degrees in that direction. 2, kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut, look in the direction of the front leg, and roundhouse to that side, facing away. 3, kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut, look in this, to the side of your front leg, roundhouse that way, turn. 4, kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut, looking forward again, kick, and turn. Last one, 5, front kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut, and for good measure, just give a little roundhouse off to the side there. All right, and shake it out a little bit. So let's check how we're doing with time. Good, we have enough time to do one more addition to our combo, okay? Here's what you're gonna do. Actually, we might add 2. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so starting on your first side, whatever side you wanna start on, again, front kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut, reach forward, back leg, knee kick. So this reach forward after your uppercut is as if you're grabbing someone's shoulder. As you pull down, the knee comes up. So you're driving your knee maybe into the midsection. Knee kick, put that foot down. That's your back leg. So then we're still gonna look in the direction of the front leg to that side, roundhouse and turn. Okay, so we're just adding knee kick before the roundhouse. Okay, so let's try it. Ready? 1, front kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut, reach, knee kick, bring the foot back, look to the side of your front leg, roundhouse, turn. 2, knee kick, bring it back, look, roundhouse, going behind you. 3, front kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut, knee kick, bring that foot back, look to the side of your front leg, roundhouse, and turn again. 4, knee kick, looking towards the screen again, roundhouse. Last one, 5. your choice. If you want to try roundhouse forward, maybe turn the back leg out even more before you start and try to do your roundhouse forward to finish. You can also do it to the side as if you were going to turn again, but we're not going to turn again. Okay, so come to face forward, switch sides, and we'll go around the clock, around the world, whatever you want to think of it, adding a knee kick before your roundhouse kick. Ready? 1, front kick, hook, up, cross, jab, cross, hook, uppercut, knee kick, look to the side of your front leg, roundhouse, turn. Trying to get my words in order now. 2, kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut, knee kick, bring that foot back, look behind, roundhouse, turn, front kick, up. Number 3, go, front kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut, knee kick, bring it back, look to the side of your front leg, roundhouse, and turn. 4, knee kick, looking towards the screen again, roundhouse, and turn. 5, kick, jab, cross, hook, uppercut, knee kick, and your choice. You can do the roundhouse to the side or forward. Just check to make sure you're turning out that standing foot a good bit, and finish. All right, and stand straight again. Let's see. Let's take a couple breaths. Separate the feet, inhale the arms up, reaching tall, and then exhale. Let the arms just cross in front of you, slightly bending the knees. Inhale up and exhale. One more time, inhale, big breath in and exhale. Okay, last thing we're gonna do for this part of class is come to your fighting stance, either side, and for 1 minute, I'm gonna time it, 1 minute, we're gonna do freestyle, okay? So you just keep throwing your techniques, any techniques that you know from class today, maybe even something we didn't do in class today, but you remember, like this elbow, anything you want to do, as long as you keep moving for 1 minute. During that time, you can switch your stance and go to the other side, have the other leg forward for a while. You can switch back and forth as many times as you like. Another kick that we didn't do in class today before is your back kick. So your front leg, you turn it around, your back leg comes up, and you do your back kick. You can include back kick if you want, or anything else, as long as you know how to do it safely and you're not going to hurt yourself. Okay, so pick up your fighting stance, whichever side you want. Remember, you can switch as many times as you want. And we're going to go for a minute. So now you'll find out how long a minute really is. All right, so get ready and begin. Go. Now, you'll notice if you just do punches the whole time, you keep your heart rate a little bit lower. You want to raise that heart rate up, you do more kicks, even more, you do faster kicks, or raise the leg really high. Ideally, you're mixing it up and just making up combinations. Remember your jab and your cross. You can vary the height, sometimes go to the face, sometimes go to the body, vary the height, keep going. You can make things up. I'm trying not to do things that I might normally do because I don't want to confuse anybody. Remember, also a little bit of movement. It's going to keep your cardio going too. And stop. All right, so that was 1 minute. So let's take 3 more big breaths. Feet apart, turn the toes out, inhale up, and exhale. Bend the knees a little bit, let the arms flop in front. Inhale up and exhale. One more time, inhale up and exhale. All right, so that minute was so short. We're gonna do another minute and Since you've done it before, you'll know how to pace yourself so you can make it through the minute, finishing strong. And you also know how you can modify. So if it was kind of not that hard to do a minute before, do more kicks this time, okay? And keep moving around. You can also, during this part, change your angle of attack. You don't have to face directly towards the camera. You can, kind of shift around, sometimes go this way, that way, behind you, whatever, okay? So get your fighting stance ready. And again, we're gonna go for a minute and begin, go. When we practice karate, we do something called ki, which is when you yell, you do a loud ya kind of noise. When you do a technique, you're at home, probably by yourself, or maybe not, maybe there are other people in the apartment. So it's up to you to decide if you want to do a ki or not. If it's going to disturb other people, then of course, best not to. But if there's no one there or you don't think they mind, you can always punctuate your techniques with a couple little yells, just, yeah. Making sure you're exhaling on your technique. It's just one reason we do it is to make sure you're exhaling on the technique. When you exhale, that's when you're physically strongest, and stop. When you inhale, kind of like you're a little bit vulnerable for a second or a split second. So that's why if you were actually fighting someone, you can try to time your technique to when you think they're going to be inhaling and try to get them then. But that's for a different class, a different day. We are done with this part of class. So we're going to come down to the floor and do some things in a moment. Let's just take 3 breaths again. Feet apart, inhale the arms up, and exhale, bend the knees, let the arms swing down. Inhale up, exhale. Last time, big breath in and let it go. You can even flutter out your lips a little bit. All right, so we're going to come down and do some stuff on the floor to stretch, and we might do a little tiny bit of core work as well. So if you want to grab your yoga mat or go someplace on the floor where you can have a little bit of softness on the floor. Hopefully you have also a thick blanket or something like that that you can use to pad up even more for what we're going to do in a moment. But first, we're just going to come down onto the floor. I know my head's cut off, but don't worry, we're going to come down onto the floor. So start again with your feet apart, even wider apart now. Maybe twice your shoulder width. Feet are turned out. Then as you come down, bending the knees, try to push the knees out to the side. So don't have your feet so wide apart that you can't bend the knees like this, okay? So it's just kind of a medium distance apart. And coming down, keep your back straight, pushing back on the inner legs with your forearms. And take a couple breaths there. Good. Turn in the direction of one foot, doesn't matter. Turn that foot so it's facing the short end of your mat. Swivel onto the ball of your back foot and bring your hands down either side of your front foot, coming towards a lunge position. First, try to push the back leg even further back, straighten it out. Big breath in, reaching crown of the head away from the back heel, really long lunge, and then drop that knee to the floor. Point your back toes. And here, you can just come up, hands on your front knee. Take a breath there. Couple breaths. If this knee is okay, your front knee, you can let it go a little bit farther forward for a little bit deeper stretch. If you're worried, putting the hands down on the floor protects the knee by taking some of the weight into the arm. Now we're going to shift back. Walk the hands back, shifting the hips straight back, and see if you can straighten out your front leg. Okay, you might have to push the foot farther forward. You can be on the heel with the foot flexed up or with the toes pointed. Either way, just folding over that front leg for a moment. Try to keep the spine relatively straight. I think of reaching the top of the head forward as much as coming down. Good. Now we're just going to switch sides for the lunge. I'm just going to take my front knee back, put it down, and bring the other foot forward. First, tuck the back toes, straighten out that back leg. And again, push that back leg really super straight, reaching really long from the back heel to the crown of the head. Big breath in, and then exhale, lower the back knee to the floor. Same way for your crescent lunge sort of position here. You can bring your hands onto the front knee. Letting this front knee bend a little bit more as long as that feels okay, and or putting the hands down. Shifting the hips straight back. Straighten out the front leg. As on the other side, you can come up onto the back of the heel by flexing the foot up, or keep the leg straight, folding over that front leg. Good. Now, we're going to work a little bit more on your quad stretch. We're going to do a different way. For this is what you need: a nice thick blanket, or even like a flat cushion from your couch or something. This is going to be for your knee. So you want to have plenty of softness there. There's no glory in making your knee uncomfortable. So what you're going to do is have that blanket on one end of your mat close to a wall or a piece of furniture. So I was testing this out before. I have this bed here, the frame of the bed is here, and then the mattress is up here. This is really, really perfect for what I'm going to use it for. If you don't have something similar, you're going to just do this against a wall, and I'll explain how to position your foot to do it. So you're going to come in front, facing away from the wall or furniture or whatever you're going to use. Walk yourself back, like crawl backwards. And so you're getting kind of close there. And take one foot, lift it behind, and you're going to place your knee down on that padding close to the wall. Now, you can see my back foot. I've curled the toes up, right? Up in the normal sense of pulling towards your shin, okay? The foot's upside down, so it's not really up anymore, but this way, right? Same way as if we were going to do our front kick and we wanted the ball of the foot to be exposed, right? So the toes are on the wall. The ball of the foot is coming close to the wall, maybe touching slightly. So that knee is going to stay back there close to the wall. And your other foot, you're going to bring it onto the floor and then come up. So you're in a very similar position that you were just in your crescent lunge, only this foot is being held up against the wall or on your piece of furniture. If you have a couch, maybe you could just put the foot on the seat of the couch and the front of the ankle would be right at the front corner of the couch. That could work as well. Now the idea here is to bring the front foot in. Okay, if the front foot's way out here, it's not that much of a stretch. You're going to try to come up. Okay, so I wish I had a long pole I could angle the camera a little bit up, but I think you can see what my legs are doing. And now everything from here is up to you to adjust. You can just stay here, pushing into that front knee, lifting the chest up. If you can bring your hands to the wall or the piece of furniture behind you and continue thinking of lifting the upper body up and maybe tilting slightly back. So the sternum keeps lifting, 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 and you go into a slight back bend. And you're going to start to really feel a lot on that quad. So the whole idea of this is the quad stretch, especially doing a lot of kicks. Those quads can get pretty tight, so we want to release them after working them out. Put the hands forward again, and you're going to switch sides. So other foot up and back, knees on your padding. Tuck the toes so your the ball of your foot is coming towards the wall. And then step the other foot in front. And lift up slowly. As always, move into it slowly. One side might be tighter than the other. Just notice how it feels. And always keep breathing. No need to force it. Just moving gently further into it if that's available to you. Maybe even bring the hands back, lifting the sternum up, slight back bend. Good. And then finally coming forward, you can walk the hands forward, have both knees down, crawling a little bit forward on your mat, and take child's pose for a few breaths. And separate the knees even more widely apart. And reach the hands forward, letting the upper body melt down towards the floor. Good. Couple more breaths. Then we're going to do one thing that is for the core. And again, I'm going to time us just 30 seconds this time. All right, so we're going to do a forearm plank and hold it for 30 seconds. So what that means is you're going to bring your forearms down onto the floor, this position. Elbows are shoulder width apart and clasping the hands together. All right, so sitting up, it's going to look just like this, forearms on the floor. Get that all set. And then when I say go, you're going to stretch the legs back and hold yourself up off the floor in your forearm plank. So get ready and go. And you're just going to keep breathing. You're going to keep rebuilding the pose from second to second. Again, top of the head reaches away from the heels, and the heels reach away from the top of the head. Supporting the lower belly, trying to lift the lower belly away from your pants. Pressing down with the forearms. Keep the head in line with the spine. And done. Oh, that was pretty quick. All right. You can lower the belly down to the floor. And even all the way down, resting the head on your folded hands for a few breaths. Good. And then from here, I'm going to stay on the floor. I'm getting up, but you don't have to. Just stay on the floor and turn over onto your back. I am just going to switch our music to be a little more chilled out for this end of class. Okay. Once you're on your back, just hug the knees in towards your chest. Excuse me. And rock side to side a few times. Good. And then your option. Continue just hugging the knees in, or lift the feet, separate the knees apart, soles of the feet facing towards the ceiling, bend the knees, and hug down, either holding behind the knees or reaching for the outer edges of your feet for happy baby. And taking some nice slow breaths there. You can stay right here in happy baby a few more breaths. Or if you like, you can grab onto the big toes, your peace sign fingers, wrapping around the big toe, thumb on the other side. And then if you want to try straightening the legs, you can go ahead and try that. And then let the feet come away from each other a little bit more of a straddle position. And just take a couple more breaths. Good. Bend the knees, coming back towards your happy baby, and then let the feet fall down, hugging the knees in once again. Let your left foot come down to the floor. Hold on to the right knee. Straighten out that left leg on the floor. You're going to stay active. You're pressing that foot away. You're going to take your right knee across the body, guiding it with your left hand, and come into your twist. So the right knee is coming to the floor or towards the floor on your left side. And the right arm can reach out behind you. You can turn the palm up, reaching away. Maybe the right shoulder is off the floor. You can kind of toggle back and forth between bringing the knee down and bringing the shoulder down. And then for a couple breaths, just stay one or the other. All right, so I usually prefer to have the shoulder down, even if the knee is off the floor for a moment. Turning the palm up of the outstretched arm behind you just opens up that shoulder a little more intensely. If it's too intense, just turn the palm down and bring the arm closer to your back. And then slowly roll onto your back completely. Bring both knees in for a moment, hugging them in. Hold onto the left knee and let the right leg come down to the floor and stretch it out. Same way, left knee goes up and over. Right hand guides it towards the floor on your right side. And then the left arm reaches back behind you. And maybe do a couple toggles, shoulder, knee, or maybe neither one really touches the floor. You can still just kind of rock back and forth between, and then stay in one spot for a couple more breaths. And finally, rolling onto your back again, both knees bent, and feet on the floor, legs and feet parallel, hip width apart. I'm going to come up to a basic bridge to start with. So here you are, arms down alongside you. If you have your yoga mat, you could even curl the fingers underneath. If you don't have a yoga mat, you're just going to press the palms down. Either way, you're going to think of rolling the shoulders in underneath you a little bit more. So if you press down with the back of your head and lift the upper chest off the floor, roll the shoulders in underneath you. Same thing with the arms. If you're holding the edges of the mat, you can roll them out, right? So the palms start to turn up, and you're kind of pulling the mat apart underneath you. And then from here, you're going to keep the knees tracking forward in the direction of your feet as you lift up into your bridge. Try casting the gaze down towards your body. When we lower the gaze, it sends a signal to kind of chill things out, right? If we have the eyes rolled up or even rolling back, it sends a signal to the brain that something's really wrong and we should panic, and all the systems start to kind of fire. So to do a back bend, we don't want to send a signal to the brain that there's something to panic about. We want to send a signal to the brain, everything's cool, everything's fine. You can release a little bit. It kind of goes against our instinct to do a back bend because the front of the body is what is more vulnerable. Okay, that's where most of the organs, our eyes, everything is facing forward, right? The back is kind of a more tougher part of the body. So to open up the front of the body means you're making yourself more vulnerable, right? So if your fight or flight instinct is kicking in, doing a back bend is going against that, right? So that's why we want to tell the brain to chill out by casting the gaze down. And then you might find you can stay up longer, you might be able to walk the feet in, all these things. And then finally coming all the way down. We're just going to rest in Shavasana, last few moments of class. Position for Shavasana is your choice. Basic traditional Shavasana, you're just reaching the legs out on the floor and then letting them relax. Arms angled a little bit out to your sides, turning the palms up, and then letting everything soften. Closing the eyes, letting the eyeballs drop down into the eye socket. Softening the tongue, letting the tongue drop back towards the back of the throat. Letting everything melt towards the floor, any amount. Letting the breath nice and soft and natural. Just continue to rest in Shavasana. Just one more moment. And then finally, starting to come out of Shavasana by wiggling your fingers and toes, bending the knees. Take your time. When you're ready, roll over onto one side. And then finally coming up to sit. And press the hands lightly together in front of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming to class today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Send me any comments, etc., as usual.